There is a FRBM Act. What is that? 3% of your GDP you can borrow and no more. Now, central government doesn't follow it, but it forces state governments to follow it. Tragedy is in 2021, when BJP made a big effort to win in Bengal and just couldn't do it, and Mamata Banerjee just flew and got a huge majority. That day they must have decided internally, punish them.
You're a finance advisor to this government, and everybody wants to know, you're giving away so much in terms of welfare measures, which people call freebies. Where is that money coming from, and is it going to increase the debt to make West Bengal broke?
I think, first of all, the straight answer to you is no, it will not only not make it broke, the money that people get, especially the poor people, 98% of that they bring back to the market as demand. That's the marginal propensity to consume of the poor is the highest, which means it is a Keynesian stimulation to the economy. So giving money to the poor means that they will bring a huge proportion of that back as demand to the market. Number two, as far as the resources are concerned, the best way to look at it is debt-GDP ratio. Because debt is never looked upon as only debt. You always divide it by a denominator, GDP. Right. What was the debt-GDP ratio when we came to office? About 42% in the CPM time in 2010-11. We brought it down to just above 30%. So when you see debt, when you see resources being put out, in fact, we have brought the debt-GDP ratio down. Number two. What has happened to fiscal deficit? Come down. What about revenue deficit? It has come down. That means the three parameters by which you judge whether spending money, receiving money, how that is working, all three parameters are extremely good for Bengal, and 17.5 lakh crores is going to be the GDP of West Bengal when it was only 4.5 lakh crores when we came to office. We have enough headroom. Number two, there is a FRBM Act. What is that? 3% of your GDP you can borrow and no more. Now, central government doesn't follow it, but it forces state governments to follow it. You'd be happy to know, not only we have never exceeded FRBM, 3% of borrowing, we have been well under it. So all these parameters put together tell you that West Bengal's economy is galloping. I'll give you another quick example of industrial production. People say industrial production. You take IIP, Index of Industrial Production, for manufacturing. You'll be surprised to know that when all India is 8% growth, West Bengal is more than 11.5% growth. Which means manufacturing, Index of Industrial Production, according to Government of India statistics, is growing rapidly.
And what about the center-state financial relationships? There are a lot of complaints by the state government. Is that valid?
It's absolutely valid. Which state governments are complaining? Those which are not BJP governments. So you'll hear Tamil Nadu complaining. You will hear others complaining, say Bengal complaining. Tragedy is in 2021, when BJP made a big effort to win in Bengal and just couldn't do it, and Mamata Banerjee just flew and got a huge majority. That day they must have decided internally, punish them. How to punish them? I can understand states, rich people being punished by them. Punish the poor. So they stopped paying us 100 days work. They have sent 300 100 days work is Manrega. Now, they have sent over 300 delegations over the last 2 years. We have provided them with everything. They have no excuse, but they won't give it. Manrega is one they don't give. The other is, of course, very dangerous, is ration. They said you have to put Mr. Modi's flex outside the ration store. You have to put his face on every ration to be delivered. And I heard the Odisha Chief Minister saying the same thing. So when we said, look, that is not possible. You give your logo, we give our logo, because it's a joint effort. 30, 40, 30, 70 or 40, 60%. They said no. So they wouldn't give 7,000 crores. They're not given. So in this manner, I can list for you many, many areas where they have just not given us the money. But we said, don't worry. We will manage. We have the capacity to manage. And therefore, we are well within all the parameters that I have given you. Lokir Bhandar is a unique program in the world. Kanyashree got the highest award from the United Nations in The Hague. Fully funded. Girl child. It's called K1, K2, K3. Funded. No problem. Lokir Bhandar. No problem. So many other programs we have been funded. Social development expenditure is high. Why? That goes back into the market as demand creating expenditure. People don't understand that. And central government doesn't understand. What they try to do is cut corporate taxes thinking they will make investments. They never invested.
Thank you very much for making that very clear. Thank you.
Thank you.